I met Ian about 4 years ago through my stepdaughter Olivia, who ended up getting the part of Lynn Ryan in Bad Day. Ian was a bit of a fan of Doctor Who. I used to write music for Doctor Who. A few years later, obviously, Bad Day was being talked about being made. Ian got in touch and said, would I like to do the music? And would Olivia like to play this part of Lynn? And we both said yes, and basically that's how we got involved.
Hello, hello.
Turn that thing off. When I compose, I'm working from a keyboard player's perspective. I'm a keyboard player. On a film like Bad Day, we didn't have a big budget. We couldn't afford to have an orchestra. The brief for the film really required an orchestral kind of score.
Where is she? Don't you make me do this trick. Don't you make me do this. Where is she?
No! The hardest scene to compose was probably one of the first scenes that I wrote. I wasn't writing in order, as the film was being made, basically Ian was sending me QuickTime movies of different sections of the film that required scoring, and I think probably one of the first pieces, if not the first piece, was the chase with Donna and Claire running through the streets of London, being chased and then ending up in the fight in the sort of scrapyard. Part of the reason that was difficult was because it was the first scene that I'd recorded, but also it was difficult to do that scene because there were so many elements that had to be right in it as far as power. It had to be a powerful scene. There was a fight, there was a chase, and it had to sound like a real orchestra. And all those things between them probably added up to being the trickiest thing to record and to write.
Drop your weapon and lie face down on the ground.
No. So what are you going to do now?
And I think, again, part of the difficulty was actually making sure it sounded like it was a real orchestra. It wasn't just a case of writing it and being happy with the writing. I had to be happy with the recording of it, and that all the elements of instruments sounded believable, as though they'd actually been played by a full orchestra.